Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's Full Potential Show. I'm James Rick, and this is your number one non-boring source for personal development. Today on the line, we have Katrina Sawa. She's a speaker, business coach, and author of Love Yourself to Success. She's also known as the networking queen. She's appeared on Entrepreneur Magazine Radio, Oprah and Friends. Her website is jumpstartyourmarketing.com. Today, we're going to talk about how to maximize and fast-track your business to make more money and enjoy more free time, and you're going to get a double bonus because we're also going to talk about automating and delegating parts of your business as well. Katrina, so glad to have you on the show today. Thank you.
Hi, James. Thank you so much.
It's good to have you on, and I understand this is your first Skype interview.
It is. You know, you got me out of my comfort zone on technology.
Well, and like I said, you know, we're here to, everybody is in support. We're going to put everybody at ease here today. And we're going to talk about some things that are very close to your heart, and that is making and growing successful businesses, entrepreneurs. I know you work with a lot of entrepreneurial women, right?
I do. I work with some men too. It's just that they don't always like to be told what to do by another.
Yeah, you know, that it works that way sometimes. I think nature made it that way. Yeah. All right, so let's dive in. Let's talk about, first of all, your background and how you got into this. What inspired you to really help people jumpstart their marketing?
Well, I always knew I was going to be a business owner. I had no idea really where I would start until I started selling advertising for a local newspaper. And I was running into all these small businesses that wanted to run an ad with their business card. And they had no idea what was going to get them results. And it was horrible. And so I'd find all these missing pieces and things wrong with their business. No website, no other marketing, no networking, no follow-up, no database, no nothing. So I realized they needed help. And so that's when I jumped into my own business and really went and helped all those people I was selling advertising to. And that's how it started. So I started locally. Now I'm global. Yeah.
Yeah. So you started out, you were offering this tactic, which is what advertising is. It's just part of a greater strategy.
Right.
And you're recognizing, okay, I may give them a useful tactic, but everything else is in pieces. It's not working. How did you sort of know what they needed? I mean, did you study marketing? Did you have a lot of experience in it before? How did you know that they were not completely together?
Well, you know, sometimes you just know what you know sometimes, but I did go to school for business. I have a degree in marketing, and not that that is really what helped me get to where I am now. I believe it's all the mentoring and training I've done with other entrepreneurs that are successful in the industry. But I just was really good at recognizing all the marketing aspects. You know, I was learning about all the other things people needed to do in their business when I was doing the advertising, and it just came to me.
Because you got the opportunity to see some people doing it right, and then some people that were doing it completely wrong, and you could contrast it from the position you were in. Is that how it works? Okay.
Right. You see a bunch of different things when you're in that kind of an industry and field. Yeah.
Okay. And so this has led to Jumpstart Your Marketing. You jump-started this business.
Yes.
And now let's talk about what are some of the key things that you will teach your clients or that you teach the people that you work with, because I think there are some universals, right? I mean, each business is different and it has its own little tactics, but the cores, you know, the blocking, tackling, and passing fundamentals of business are pretty universal, right?
Right. Well, these days, back then, it was about 9 years ago, you know, you had to have a website, but it wasn't that important. Now it's vital, crucial that you have a website, of course, and not just a website that sits there, but something that's interactive. It has video on it. It has audio, possibly. It has opt-in boxes so people can, you know, get on your email list. It has forms that they can fill out so you can funnel them into a system. And then the other thing is having those systems, because it's more important than ever to not just touch a handful of people every week or every month. You have to touch thousands of new prospects every month. And in order to do that, you have to be everywhere, all over the place, in front of a bazillion different people in many different ways: video, audio, online, offline, social, in person, in their face, in their inbox, in their mailbox. You got to be everywhere. And so,
woo, Katrina, that sounds like a lot of work.
It does, but if you have the systems in place, you don't have to. If you have pre-written templates for emails and follow-up and pre-written messages you send on social media, you can reach thousands of people every month.
So what I hear you saying is there is an opportunity unlike ever before to leverage your time and speak one-to-many through all the tools that are available now.
Leverage is the key. I mean, you've got to leverage yourself. The days of just doing one-on-one communication with either your marketing, your follow-up, or your consulting or sales,
Those days are over.
It's over. I mean, I'm still doing one-on-one, and that's still a very viable and profitable income stream. But you have to have these other income streams too in many different business models. I don't care if you're brick and mortar, or if you're a coach, or if you're a fitness trainer or an insurance professional. It doesn't matter. You still have to have some different options these days.
And where could somebody start? I mean, because you named up blam, 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 got to do this, got to do that. And somebody right now, their head's scrambling, and they're like, that's why I didn't want to do it in the first place.
I know. Well, you have to. This is what I did, is I hired someone who knew what they were doing and was already doing it. I'm serious. That is the fastest way. I didn't want to go and figure it out myself. Yes, I could have listened to webinars and teleclasses and got on like 500 people's email lists and tried to figure it all out. But then you get bits and pieces of the system, and you get bits and pieces of the puzzle, and it doesn't all flow together.
So
and
find somebody who has the system and pay for it.
Yeah. I mean, seriously, that's the best way to do it.
All right, and I really resonate with that too, because I think a lot of people will go to these seminars and go through these trainings and then get overwhelmed and not do it in the first place. So what you're saying is shortcut the process and go to somebody who's doing it and who knows how to do it better than you do.
Why wouldn't you? I mean, I hired someone who was making hundreds of thousands of dollars when I was making 50. Right now, I hire people that are making millions of dollars when I'm in the couple hundred bracket. Right? I mean, you've got to have someone, and you got to make sure they're making money, because there's a lot of people out there that say they can tell you what to do, but they're not really making money doing what they're doing.
How do you find these people? Where did you go?
Well, my friend was introduced me to my first mentor, and so I went to her workshop. Usually they have live events. If someone's going to put on a live event, usually they have the backing behind it, usually. So look for those types of people. Okay. Yeah, I would recommend.
And so the first starting place is to just Google it, Google these people, or what do you suggest as far as finding these resources that might be able to get them on the fast track?
Well, hopefully they're already paying attention to things like these kinds of shows and other radio shows and telesummits. And if they're on Facebook, there's stuff out there all the time. You should be clicking around. I mean, and asking people, I think it's more important to ask for referrals. Like even if you're on Facebook or Twitter, you could send out a couple messages saying, hey, I'm looking for a business coach that knows how to work with fitness trainers or health practitioners, right? And then see what you get back.
That's a great idea. Crowdsource the answer.
That is better than Google these days.
Crowdsourcing through your social media.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And so starting from that place then of, all right, I'm looking for this or I'm looking for that. What about even before that? How do you know what you're looking for? I mean, as a business owner, what stage do you suggest that they start finding these people? I mean, there's a certain amount of work that needs to be done before they get to this stage, or is everything? I mean, could you literally crowdsource every single part of your business?
Well, I mean, if you don't know what you want to do, I run across a lot of people who, like, I want to be an entrepreneur, but I don't know if I want to do this or that, or I have some ideas, or I have no idea what I want to do. I just want to get out of this job. I mean, there's so many people in those types of situations that they need someone to brainstorm with that can give them possibilities and answers. And so, that's kind of what I do. But there's other people out there too, whether it's me or somebody else. You got to find somebody who has some options for you. Not that's just going to say, there's also people out there that will say, oh, you have to do it this way, right? I don't do that. I say, look, there's 20 different ways you could do this, depending on what fits your personality, your lifestyle, and the kind of clients you want. So and then we pick. Well,
and so what I hear you saying is that no matter what stage you're at, you actually can get help from somebody who may have the answer. Who in most cases has already delivered that answer to somebody who then refers that person to you.
Yeah, you can actually save a lot of time and a lot of money without spending it in the wrong places if you do it first. People think, oh, Katrina, when I get my ideas ready and I get my website up and I get this ready, and then I'm going to come to you for marketing. And I'm like, no, because you'll totally forget something on your website. You'll have to go back and spend $1,000 on changes, and you're going to forget this, and you're not going to do this, and nothing's going to flow together. You don't want to make that mistake. People think they're going to figure it out on their own. And bless you if you can, but it's going to take you so much longer if you do it that way.
All right, so this is a really great model then. Really figure out what you want to do, figure out what you're best at, and pretty much delegate or outsource the rest. That's what I hear you saying.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to delegate the planning process, but yeah, you want to get with someone, plan it out, figure out what you need to do. And I always look at the big picture, like where do you really want to take this business? And sometimes you don't always know. And a lot of times I think really a lot farther out than a lot of my people that come to me, and I'm like, well, you could do this, you could do that, and it makes their head spin like I was doing a minute ago. And I've said, well, don't worry about that now, but if that even sounds remotely interesting, we need to build it this way instead of building it that way, so you can eventually get there. If you build it this way, you may not get that way. So,
well, and I like it. It sounds like there's a lot of flexibility in the track that you help build.
Oh yeah, because you're always evolving. I mean, I'm always evolving. Everybody's evolving in their business. Yeah.
And everybody's at a different place where they need those options.
Yeah, and you'll never be done. So like, well, I want to wait till I get it perfect and then I'm going to launch it. No, you'll never get it perfect. It'll never be done. Just launch, get feedback, tweak it, keep going, launch it again, get feedback, tweak it, go. Yeah.
Now, that's an interesting point you bring up, because there are those personalities that don't want to launch until it's perfect.
I know. I just want to wring their neck. Stop it.
So when is a good time to launch? When do you say go? Even if when?
I said immediately. You got the idea, go get feedback. Go to a networking event and start asking questions and get feedback, and then come back and develop. Because if you're going to sit in your own head trying to develop some kind of program, product, or service when you don't even know what the market wants, that's just crazy. So you want to go out, get feedback, then come back, then at least put a loose fitting program or something together, and then go try to sell it. When you sell it, then you can finish creating it. But if you don't sell it, what the heck do you want to spend hours and hours or weeks and weeks trying to create something for if it's not going to sell?
What about they say, oh, I just don't want people to steal my idea?
Get over it. There's people out there that are going to do that, and their karma will get them, I believe.
Well, and in most cases, they have their own. I mean, ideas are abundant. Wouldn't you agree? Yeah. There's just there's so many ideas, and you have to have trust that even if that idea didn't work out, you have a million others you can use. And really, it's the execution part that's the most rare.
Yeah, a lot of people just don't implement on their ideas. And not only that, if other people have already thought about your idea, that's probably a good thing. That means there's a market for it. Okay,
yeah, if it's already out there, don't be afraid of the competitors.
Yeah, go buy your competitor's thing, look and see what they did. More than likely, you're going to create something better anyways, and then go for it.
All right, well, some real practical and straightforward advice, Katrina. I love it. Is there any other major tips that you want to leave folks with before we wrap up today and talk about where they can pick up some free gifts from your website?
Well, the main thing is you have to have the confidence in yourself to be able to go out and charge what you're worth and really accomplish what you want to do. So that's why I wrote the book, The Love Yourself Successful, is because you have to have that confidence in yourself. If you don't have it, you're never going to get to your goals and where you really want to get. So that's number one. And then you have to take action. You have to have faith. And sometimes you have to act before you know what's going to happen. Okay. You can't always know what's going to happen until you step out. You have to step and let go of that trapeze and grab the other one, and just trust you're not going to fall to the ground.
Now, it's scary stuff. So you got to have that. You got to have that confidence. Where do you develop that confidence, Katrina? Where would you say that you got the confidence?
I was lucky. I was never told I was not good enough. I was never told that I couldn't succeed. I was never told those negative things that some people are told when they're younger or growing up. And if you do think that's partly an issue for you, you want to get some help around that, because those are the subconscious beliefs that are going to hold you down the rest of your life if you don't figure out a way to get them out of your head and move on. So yeah.
So first recognize that you have limiting beliefs that are holding you back. Bust through those to at least start developing the ability to take action, even if you're scared. And that's really the next step, taking the action, even if you're a little scared, because the results you get from that will start building the references you need to develop even greater confidence to take even bolder actions that create even better results. And it's an upward cycle.
It is. And every action you take will build your confidence. Every investment you make will build your confidence. So it does work. You just have to trust the process.
Katrina Sawa, jumpstartyourmarketing.com. Where can they pick up some of the free gifts that you're offering to folks today?
If you put /gifts on the end of that, jumpstartyourmarketing.com /gifts. There's 3 free gifts there, and you can even talk to me about where you are in your business and where you want to go, and I can help you figure out the best route to get there.
Okay, great. That's jumpstartyourmarketing.com/gifts. This is Katrina Sawa. Thank you so much for being on today's show with your great, practical, straightforward advice, and we'll start ringing some necks to get results. All right, Katrina, thanks for being on. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, and everybody watching, listening right now, be sure and check out her website, and be sure to like and subscribe the Full Potential Show so you get more great insights from wonderful people like Katrina and freebies that you'll only find right here on the Full Potential Show. Have a great afternoon, Katrina. Well, that concludes this week's episode of the Full Potential Show, your #1 non-boring source for personal development. I'm James Rick, and if you want to get more positive programming for your brain absolutely free on a weekly basis, just visit fullpotential.com.
If you like the Full Potential Show, you're going to love the Full Potential Club. What would you like most as a Full Potential Club member? Be 2 to 3 times more productive? Do what you're passionate about? Have more energy? Reduce your work hours? Travel the world? Enjoy an amazing lifestyle on a frugal budget? What if you could do them all? James Rick has been there and done it in ways that few people have. For anyone serious about taking their life or business to the next level, you know you've got to do more than just watch. You've got to do. Join James Rick and other like-minded people for an incredible $10 a month at fullpotential.com/club. Be educated. Be empowered. Be the best version of you. fullpotential.com/club. Try it free for 30 days.